I'm gonna just put that pen down. You ready? Start over.
One thing I would like to solve in Chicago is shooting, because many people do not want to go to the store or outside to a park or school thinking about getting shot or getting attacked by guns.
Very well said. Good posture. All right, stay up there. You got to call on somebody to give you some feedback.
Olivia.
Wait, come back to me.
Arrington.
I just wanted to say that was very good, and I agree, because a lot of people are getting shot and nobody knows happening. And they're also, and people are getting scared. Like, some people are actually scared of the police because they've been shooting people for no reason too.
That's a good point. All right, cool. Thank you, sir. Who was second? Anaya? You need that paper? Okay.
Actually, I don't.
Okay, I didn't think you did.
One thing that I would like to change in Chicago is gun violence, because there are many innocent people, like teens, babies, adults, that are getting killed and that are getting that are losing their bright futures and like for the future that they lost, and for the so that they can, like, share to the world, and that are getting wasted.
Very great point. All right, leave that. Stay up there.
Astrid.
I agree with you. They are getting killed and they are wasting their bright future that they can share with the world. Olivia.
I also want to agree with the point you said about bright futures, because it's one thing I want to say to add on to that is that it's mainly happening in the African American communities, and there's a whole bunch of other children out there that there was a lot of African American children that had bright futures and are very smart, but they don't get that opportunity, one, because of the situation and the color of their skin, and also because of the violence going on around them.
Very well stated. Stay. I was thinking that I loved everything that you said, but your posture, just make sure that you're mindful about the eye contact with your people. You look into space, and you don't have to look directly at them, but you want to look towards them so it feels like you're talking to them. Sounds good? Very well done, ma'am. Thank you. All right. You ready?
Yes. One problem is bullying, because we don't want people to feel like they don't belong in this world, or to feel like they're not meant to be anyone. And a lot of people are getting hurt because of being bullied. People just don't, and some people just don't want to live anymore because they're being bullied.
All right. Very well said. In great posture and projection. Anybody got some feedback?
I'm sorry, what's your name? John Kell.
So, I like to agree with your, with your statement, because when I play in Roblox, everybody in my friend list, they be saying they have depression and everybody be bullying them. It's called depression. Everybody has it in my friend list. They saying everybody has it because they get bullied at school or messed with. They keep on talking about they cutting themselves with knives or something. Cutting, I don't know, but they have really depression. And some of my friends are at school with me.
So you're saying that bullying can lead to other problems like depression and self-harm?
Yeah.
Okay, very great point. Thank you for sharing that.
Olivia, I'm gonna agree with Raquel's point because my friend, she also got depression because she got diagnosed with depression this year because students kept bullying each other. And like they will always, whenever they were in a classroom, but it was either someone else or it was her. Like they will always pick on her all the time in class. And then the teachers, they wouldn't do anything about it. Like sometimes I think that punishment, that's not gonna change the way that you feel about that's not gonna change the way that you feel about a person. And I don't think that really helped her. And that's how I was happy when she decided to transfer, so she had to go through problems like that all the time.
Awesome, thank you for sharing. So I heard you added another problem. The problem is nothing's being done about the bullying either. Okay, thank you very much, sir, for sharing that problem.
One problem that I would like to fix in Chicago is the poor health care that some African Americans receive. Just because someone's skin color is different doesn't mean that their well-being is different, because everyone is the human, and humans require the same amount of needs. So, and that's why I wanted to become a pediatric immunologist to help not only because I wanted to pursue that dream, but also I want to help other people that look like me. And my mom, she works at the hospital. She says whenever an African American patient comes in, they need like a heart or something, they can never find it. But like when a white person, when they need a heart, they'll say something like, "Oh, I found a heart so fast. I didn't know that I would be able to find a heart." And my mom, she told me about it, and I think that's because of the race. Shanita.
I was thinking that I just really appreciate how you offered a solution also. You stated what you thought the problem was, and then you stated how you feel like you can take some power in doing something to fix that. Thank you.
Anybody else? Astrid.
So basically what you're saying is that African Americans are also being treated like non-humans on the streets but in hospitals too.
Yeah.
Good connection. Awesome. Thank you very much for sharing, Miss Olivia. Who's next? Now, if you haven't given feedback, I'm expecting, so I'm listening, I'm paying attention. I've heard from some of you have given feedback a couple times, some of you haven't given any feedback, so just be mindful. All right, Jaquel, it's on you.
I have two problems about Chicago. One of them is that they are polluting the air. Like when we doing fireworks, people die from fire or from the air because they be smoke outside. And another problem is about the killing, the injuries, and any problems that cause the death. Like people use guns to shoot each other or get in car accidents, any injuries. People need to, find a way to solve these problems. Lead us so we won't die. Because like he said, people have these deaths. People, Abu Bakr, like he said, people have good lives and they die alive. Like they have, they have really good lives and they keep on, and they die so, they can't continue it. And I need to use the bathroom.
Not yet.
Not in the middle of your presentation.
Call, say that again.
Ask her. She's right there.
Ask her.
Astrid?
Yes, ask her.
It's not really something about your sense, but your posture. Your hands and arms are really all over the place, especially above your head.
good point. I was gonna say
Both
the
of
same
them.
thing. So if you want to have your hands, if you're somebody who has a difficult time and you don't use them to talk, you can just put them in front of you. You can put them behind you. You can put them to the side. I like to clasp mine sometimes, so you might want to clasp them, but not up here though. All right. No, man, you look so scholarly that way. Anybody else have feedback?
Your name again?
Sister Shanita?
Sister Shanita.
I was thinking that I really appreciate the point that you made about the pollution. I also see that as a problem, and I know that Arrington and I talked about the pollution and how it can cause the asthma to flare up, and that's also a problem with our health in the African American community. So I think they all are related. So thank you for bringing that up. All right. Last but certainly not least, Miss Astrid.
I care about the shootings and the gun control. I feel like there should be more gun control and more of like in the police stations. That a lot of African American kids are just getting shot for no reason. And it's very horrible. And millions of people die of that. And they're so scared they're actually committing suicide and self-harm, which is horrible.
I was wondering, when you were referring to the gun control and the police officers shooting, do you think there should be gun control for police officers and what kind of weapons they should use? Or were you just speaking for the general community and not the police? Who do you think, or what responsibility do we have for gun control?
I think sometimes communities and police officers should have gun control because the weapons that the police are using they're just not helpful.
Okay, great. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else want to offer feedback? Because this is the last speaker. She talked about gun control.
I just want to commend you on your confidence and getting up there speaking. You've come so far, so fast, and being comfortable getting up and speaking in front of people. That was something that was very hard for you early on in the program, and in such a short time, you've already gotten comfortable with your fellow leaders, and you're speaking confidently, and I look forward to your continued growth in that area.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Oh, you got some feedback? She got feedback for you. I mean, Anaya has feedback for you.
Your posture was great, and you were like looking at us and not us in this face.
So does that mean that police officers are not supposed to carry guns?
No, it's not. It should not be recommended.
Like, what you mean, like, the leader of the police and stuff, so, like, are you saying, like, they should have low-grade weapons?
Definitely.
I'm gonna disagree. I'm gonna respectfully disagree with the point that you said that police officers shouldn't carry guns at all. I think that I agree. I kind of agree with that point, but at the same, they do need gun control. Like Arrington said, they need like more low-grade weapons, and not to carry so many. And to
They should just have a tasers, though. They don't kill.
yeah, like not trying to and not killing people on purpose, and not using using low-grade weapons. But that doesn't mean that they can't carry weapons at all.
I think that I probably kind of agree because they don't probably need that much weapons, but they do need weapons because if they don't carry a lot of weapons, somebody that maybe have a dangerous weapon might try to shoot the police officers, and they don't have nothing to defend themselves. Like they don't have no guns to shoot them. And what if we lose more police officers that way? Like people be dying.
So Asher, this was a Really, really good topic. Obviously, you got so much feedback. Anytime you can engage so many or get so many people engaged, that's a really, really good topic. Even if everybody doesn't agree exactly to the point, there are some things we can agree about, some things we can disagree about. I would say that you all are right? And so gun control is an issue. The police are over aggressive at times. They should have more less than lethal options, right? So they should have other things besides guns, but they do need their guns to protect not only themselves but the citizens from people who may be trying to cause harm. You guys did an excellent job. Jacob, can you turn that fan off in the bathroom?
Nice job. My turn. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sister Shanita, and one problem that I wanted to bring to your attention is how many people notice littering or lots of trash on the ground? Okay, good. So then you all are aware of the problem. To me, I believe this is a problem that should be solved in Chicago because it makes you feel better when you're in communities that are clean as opposed to being in communities that are dirty or littered with trash. So I would like to ask all of you to be mindful of those things. If you have something in your hands and you're done with it, but you're not near garbage, maybe you can stick it in your pocket until you get to a garbage, or maybe we can do something to get more garbage cans on the corners of our blocks, but that's something that is a problem, but I think it's also something that we have power to control. Thank you. Yes, Astrid.
Do you think you have different solutions to how to solve this?
Yes, so I was just thinking about how I go to other areas of the city, not South Shore, and I don't notice those trash, and I started trying to observe more. What do I see that's different? One of the things that I see that's different is there's a lot more waste cans around that the city provides. For some reason, we don't have a lot of waste cans around in our neighborhood, but that would be something that maybe we can get our aldermen to help us with, or maybe something we can take ownership for ourselves and maybe get some community members to help us get those things. That's one solution. I have a few that I've been thinking about. Thank you for asking that.
I want to add a connection to that because compared to here, and my grandma, she got a brand new house. She lives in Indiana. She lives in Elkhart. Like in their neighborhood, they'll have like a whole bunch of garbage cans around, and the garbage disposal and garbage disposals and stuff. And they'll have like yard sales like every Tuesday. So everybody, if they don't want something, they'll like put it out, and other people would take it instead of it just like being all over the place and garbage everywhere.
Those are great ideas. Thank you. So I'm shifting from presenter to teacher. So real quick, what I wanted to model for you all is kind of remembering maybe to introduce yourselves. One, because it's still early and we don't know each other, but when we do our presentations for our possible selves, our audience will be full of people that don't know us. So you want to practice introducing yourselves first. That's one thing I would like you to do. And then think about a way that you can grab their attention immediately. So it could be a question like how many have, or have you ever heard, but just think of a way that you can get them to respond to you, because that'll draw them into what you're saying. So those are just 2 extra points I wanted to add, but thank you, you all did very well.
Hello, my name is Herb. One of the problems that I see in the city of Chicago is a lack of unity. And it concerns me because I feel like that lack of unity leads to a lot of the other problems that we see, whether it's littering or bullying or violence. All those things kind of, to me, could be solved if we were able to unify more in terms of how we can solve some of these problems, but also in terms of why we have them in the first place, right? If we can talk to each other, get to know each other a little bit better, some of these small differences that become such big issues would not be so big, and the solutions that we can come up with would have a greater impact if we did those things together. So to me, the lack of unity in Chicago is a really, really big problem. Thank you. Astrid?
Do you think we can restore that unity by getting together like in block parties or something?
I absolutely do believe that we could restore that unity. I think it's a bunch of small steps, right? So it's not the huge things. A lot of people think everything's this huge solution we got to come up with. But it's really just very small things. Speaking to your neighbors, having block club parties, little barbecues, hot dogs, or just saying hello to people as you pass them on the street. Small things like that will lead to the bigger change that we'll see. Thanks for asking. Any other questions or comments? Yes, ma'am. Yes, you do.
I really appreciate the way you used your hands to emphasize your point, so they weren't distracting. They only added more, they just drew more attention to your message, and I appreciated that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're done.